Good morning, students. Students, we started second chapter of history, and that was from trade to territory. Means East India Company, a very famous trading company from England, wanted to trade with India. And you know that in 1600 this company got a permission from the ruler of England, and she was Queen Elizabeth I. He granted this company to take the overall right to trade with the East, means the eastern countries. What does it mean? It meant that no other trading company in England they could compete with East India Company. I mean to say East India Company will be the only trading company who could trade with eastern countries. With this right, the company could venture means started across the oceans, could come across the oceans and looking for new lands, means new countries from which it could buy goods, purchase goods at a cheap rate and carry them back to Europe to sell at higher price. But the company did not have to fear. This company means now, because the company got the right from the Queen Elizabeth. Now the company did not have to fear, did not have any fear. What fear? To compete from any other English trading companies. And because you know the mercantile trading companies, mercantile, the meaning of mercantile means a businessman who makes profit through trade. How? By buying goods on cheap rates and selling them at higher price. So this mercantile trading companies in those days, means the East India Company, made huge profit by excluding competition, because no other competitor was there, means no other trading company was there, because this trading company only got the right. So they could buy the things at cheap rates and they could sell them on high rates. But this royal charter, as earlier I asked you, charter means permission, however could not prevent, means though this permission was given to East India Company, but several other European companies, they also wanted to come in eastern countries to have the trade. And students, earlier you came to know, you read that so many navigators, they came to India through sea routes, and in the same from the same route this English East India Company, it crossed Africa and it went to India, it came to India. But students, in your previous class you read that one Portuguese navigator, and his name was Vasco da Gama, he came in Kerala in 1498, 1500 century, and that is why the Portuguese, they had already came here in India. And when these British, they came to India, they found the Portuguese earlier established in India. So what happened? And after that Dutch also came in India, and soon now you see the problem. What problem came in between all the companies? Because all the companies, they wanted to buy the same things. And which were the same things? Cotton, silk, of course cotton and silk, they were very much famous of India. And moreover the spices, pepper, cloves, cardamom and cinnamon, they were of great demand. So because of these common items which were to be purchased and which all the trading companies wanted to purchase, created a great competition. And now all the trading companies, they tried to push other companies out and get more profit. Okay, that is why there was a tensions or there were battles between all the trading companies. Even you will be surprised to know that these trading companies, they regularly, what they used to do, they sank means dubona, they sank each other ships, and they put barrier in the sea routes so that the ship of another company could not enter in India. Now you see, and that because of this, in the end, who became or who just became successful? East India Company. Now what? Let us see what happened further. This East India Company started trade. First of all, it started trade in Bengal. And when he came in India, he came in India in 1600 and then started his base on the bank of river Hooghly. Now students, the river Hooghly, it's the another name of river Ganga, and this was the main base from where the company's traders they started trade. Okay, when at that time these companies traders they were known as the factors. Okay, and wherever they prepared, they made the base, that is known as factory. Okay, all these factory they had, all the factories, all the base, they had the warehouses. Now what do you mean by warehouses? Warehouses means an area or a store where these things are being stored. Okay, students, as the trade expanded means spread in more areas, the company pressurized the merchants and traders to come and settle near the factory. Factory means the area where the goods were being stored. So by 1969, it began building a fort. Fort means in Hindi it is known as Kila around the settlement so that no other could enter in these factories. Just after 2 years, it asked the Mughal officials, or who was the Mughal officials under Aurangzeb, the ministers under Aurangzeb, he gave bribe. Bribe means money to trade or to get the zamindari rights for 3 villages. And out of these 3 villages, one was Kalikata, and now we know it as Kolkata, or the British changed the name and renamed it as Calcutta. Okay, the company persuaded means pressurized the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue a farman. Farman means order. What order? Means granting the company, means the company will be given the right to trade without any tax. Duty free means without any tax. Now the company tried continuously means regularly to press for more concession. Press means to give or to get for more concession, means choot, and manipulate existing privileges. Privileges means relaxation, and whatever relaxation they have got, they wanted to get more and more relaxations. And due to Aurangzeb's farman, earlier I asked you, farman means order, they had already got so many privileges, so many rights, but officials of the company who just they wanted to get more and more relaxation. So what happened? they refused to pay taxes. And when they refused to pay taxes, the revenue of Bengal, it came down. The treasury of Bengal came down. Now, the Nawab of Bengal, and whose name was Murshid Quli Khan, he could not protest, or he could not make any protest. Now, how trade? Because you see, he is the governor of East India Company, and his name was Robert Clive. Okay. Now here also you see, it is the fort made by the British to just put the things inside it so that no one could steal it. Now this is okay, and it is fort which was built on the sea coast so that the things could be transported, things could be exported through big ships. Now let us come further. How trade led to battle? As earlier I asked you that because of trade, these companies, they fought with each other, and now at the end British East India Company became successful, and other companies, they went back to their countries. Now let us see how this British East India Company started fight with the local rulers of India. Through the early 18th century, the conflict between the company and the Nawab of Bengal, it was very, very, very high. Because after the death of Aurangzeb gave permission, but after the death of Aurangzeb, the Nawab of Bengal, he said that now you will pay revenue, you will pay tax if you wanted to just have trade with Bengal. But because the East India Company did not want to pay any tax, so there was a fight between the Nawab of Bengal and British East India Company. So in one battle, Murshid Quli Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, followed by Ali Vardi Khan, and then Sirajuddaulah, he became the Nawab of Bengal. Earlier, the fight was Murshid Quli Khan, and he was defeated. Then Ali Vardi Khan, he was also defeated. And now Sirajuddaulah was made as the Nawab of Bengal. And though all the three, they were very strong ruler, so they refused to give company concession, which was given by who gave? Aurangzeb. They refused now that no concession will be given. If you wanted to trade, you will have to pay tax. But the British East India Company refused. So there was a battle. So this time the company denied again that I did not want to give any tax. So the Nawab of Bengal, and his name was Sirajuddaulah now, he declared a conflict or a battle with the company. Okay, and this conflict led to confrontation, and finally there was a big battle of Palasi. This was a place in Bengal, and now you see the battle of Palasi. The first, after Aurangzeb, who was the Nawab of Bengal? Murshid Quli Khan, and after that, who became Ali Vardi Khan. When there was a battle with Ali Vardi Khan and British East India Company, Ali Vardi Khan died in 1756. And who became the Nawab of Bengal? Sirajuddaulah. He became the Nawab of Bengal. Now the company was worried about his power because he was very powerful Nawab and keen on a puppet ruler. Puppet means Katputli. They wanted that ruler should be so, as whatever they say, he will follow. But what happened? Sirajuddaulah was a very powerful Nawab, when the company started its trade, Sirajuddaulah refused, and he said that if you want to make your warehouse, if you want to trade, then you will have to pay the tax. And then the battle started, and the Nawab marched with 30,000 soldiers to fight with British East India Company at Qasim Bazar. He was captured by the company officials, though he locked the warehouse, disarmed all Englishmen, and blockaded English ship. And then he started to Calcutta and established its control over the company's fort there. But when the news spread in the Calcutta, the company officials which were there in Madras, they sent their forces under the command of Robert Clive. He was the commander of that army. And they again, what they did, they started fight or battle with Nawab, and finally in 1757, Sirajuddaulah, the Nawab of Bengal, he was captured and he was murdered. And then this battle of Plassey, it was stopped. It could be stopped. It was stopped. Now for today, it's okay. Thank you.